All right, guys, we are back on this Bears playoff loss Sunday night. And now I think we got to move on. Now it's time to move on. And I think we should talk about whether or not we think some of these people in the Bears organization, players and coaches, front office people, will be back next year in a little game of, are they going to stay or are they going to go? So I'll start with the very first one, Tim. Ted Phillips. Does he stay or does he go? What do you think?
Go. How about you?
He's gone.
Gone.
I think he's gone. He's been doing this for 20 years, and this has been an absolute. I mean, the Bears are a proud franchise. He's not. I mean, what is this? 4 playoff appearances, or 5 playoff appearances. Look, this is he's not cutting it, Tim.
No, he's not.
He's not.
And if you love him so much, reassign him away from anything that's football, anything that's decision making. Just let him go off into the sunset. It's not working. It hasn't worked. How many playoff appearances in 25 years? Not a lot. So it's just time. This is where it has to start. If you're going to make any moves, do this. Build somebody on top. George, just take somebody, build them on top, let that person make decisions. If you don't want to make any other moves, make this move.
Yes. Yeah. Ted Phillips, you're being reassigned. Who's next, Tim? Who do you got?
Ryan Pace. I'm going to quote somebody named Michael Beller from Twitter stating, imagine going into an off season with quarterback uncertainty and allowing a GM who took Trubisky over Watson, signed Mike Glennon to a 3 for $45 contract, $18.5 million guaranteed, and traded for Nick Foles to make another quarterback decision for your franchise.
I think Ryan Pace is out as GM, but I do think he might be reassigned in Ted Phillips's position. Why? Who knows? Look, the fact is that we have to come to the understanding that the Bears ownership loves Ryan Pace. Yeah. He's just going to stick around, whether or not we like him or not, or whether or not we think he's done a good job at his job or not. There's a good likelihood that he's staying and he's going to be a part of this Bears organization in some form.
I don't want that.
I don't want that either, but I think we're just going to have to deal with that reality, Tim.
Yeah. I don't care that he's good at having an eye for defensive talent and talent like Deshaun Gibson, on 1-year deals, Mario Edwards. He's not cutting it, man. He's not cutting it. And you saw it with the lack of depth in the inside linebacker position. You saw it when you only have a couple cornerbacks and you're relying on rookies and second years as your main cornerbacks in the freaking playoffs. You saw it as your 5th receiver is this random dude whom nobody heard of before week 14, whom you brought in as a punt returner after 2 other failed punt returners happened. You have and then your 4th round pick, Riley Ridley. Where the hell is he? Again and again and again, we need somebody who is able to look from the outside and see the failure of this organization and be able to be like, okay, let's not do what they just did. Ryan Pace has to be gone. I don't even want him up the chain. Just get him out.
Yeah, Tim, I mean, we had to resurrect Manti Te'o today. Like that, he was the guy. We had to activate him off of the practice squad. I mean, look, you know how it is in football. It's next man up.
Yep.
Because there's injuries that happen all the time, and there's some serious depth issues here. Like it shouldn't be. I mean, there are a handful of players where you can definitely say, if we're missing this player, we're in trouble. But the fact is that when it comes to the Bears, if we miss, say, a Roquan Smith, we're finished. Like that's our hope shouldn't hang on these guys. They shouldn't hang on these guys so much. We should expect the next player up to be ready to fill that position. Maybe not to the same level as like Roquan Smith would do, but at least be somewhat serviceable.
Well, think about it. Kwiatkowski got signed by the Raiders for not even that. compared to the Quinn deal, it wasn't much. I think it was like 4 for 24 or something like that. I got to double check it. Kevin Pierre-Louis went to the Redskins this offseason for, I think, like 2 for 7. Leonard Floyd goes to the Rams for 1 for 13. Dude.
Oh, Leonard Floyd.
Can you imagine us re-signing those people for not even half of what we paid for Quinn? And yet we'd have all this nice depth today. We would have actually maybe, I mean, it's just like, once again, points to Ryan Pace's failure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, the fact is that there's just no depth on this team, and we can't ride our hopes on the fact that, like, Roquan Smith's healthy, Jalen Johnson's healthy. We can't play this game anymore.
Who has his like third surgery on his shoulder in the past 2 years?
Oh man, I hope he's okay. He's been out a long time.
He's going to need surgery again, so that's a concern. That puts cornerback as a big need moving forward this offseason.
Yes.
Green be gone with another concussion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's missed several weeks with that concussion.
So literally, we have 4 cornerbacks on the roster. 2 of them, it's just a disaster.
It's a disaster. It's a disaster, Tim.
All right. Third person.
Matt Nagy. Does he stay or does he go, Tim?
According to Mark Schlereth, another tweet I found amusing, he says after the game, in the upcoming episode of NCIS New Orleans on CBS, they're going to try to find Chicago's offense.
Wasn't this guy brought in to be the offensive guru? Wasn't this guy supposed to be the offensive mind? The guy that's supposed to be able to develop quarterbacks? The guy that's supposed to have this wildly innovative offensive style? What happened to this, Tim? Where did this go?
Softball, bro. There's your softball.
Where did this go? I mean, give me a break.
How many big wins does he have?
We talked about this too. No signature wins for Matt Nagy.
1-7 against winning teams this year. 1-7.
Dude, you know what team? This is embarrassing. You know what team has more wins against winning teams than the Chicago Bears? The Jets. The Jets do. Come on. Seriously, 1-7 against teams with a winning record? Get out. Get out. You know what? We talked about this before in previous videos where you'd expressed that, Matt Nagy's learning on the job. He's learning on the job, and it's possible that he could find success somewhere else. But look, the Bears don't have that kind of time, Tim. Their window for this squad is closing. It's closing fast.
The window's closed, dude.
Well, yeah, I think the defense might, if they get a new defensive coordinator, I still think they might still have a top 5, top 10 defense next year.
Maybe.
So that's why I say, well, let's wait on that yet. But the fact is that the offense is just historically terrible, Tim.
Yeah.
I mean, Gary Crowton's offense looks like it's something. John Schuch's offense looks better than this.
It does. This was an all-time embarrassment. I mean, Jimmy Graham really encapsulated the season in his beautiful touchdown, and then I'm just gonna jog into the locker room. It's over. It's time to take a shower.
He just bounced. He's like,
"This is beautiful."
Yes, it really was. And you know what? Kudos to Jimmy Graham. Was that like his first catch? I mean, like his only catch of the game. Good for him. This is the other part about why Matt Nagy is a terrible coach. Is you have playmakers on your team. You're clearly not getting.
He should retire, by the way.
Playmakers.
On that note, he should just retire.
Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, sorry about that. I cut you off. Yeah, Jimmy Graham should retire on that note. It would be epic.
Yeah, but so we need to go back to this, Tim. Why is it that the Bears have playmakers on their team like Allen Robinson, Jimmy Graham, Montgomery, yet they're not able to get the ball to these players in places where they can make plays? Why? That to me is the fault of scheming. It's the fault of the coaching. It's a fault of it's play calling. It's all of it. I think Matt Nagy should be gone. What do you think?
You don't
Tim?
think it's an execution problem?
Execution?
Well,
What are we even talking about here? Execute
there's
what?
a war. There's a Twitter war currently going on. Is it execution the issue, or is it play calling the issue? Because Nagy's apparently getting people open all game long. Look at Montgomery, was open on that first drive, but who does Mitch have to lock eyes on the whole time? Allen Robinson.
Yeah, well, Montgomery is one of your playmakers, and that was just a horrible, poor read on Mitch. The fact that Montgomery was open for an easy first down, an easy check down for a first down. Instead, he wants to throw a difficult pass to Allen Robinson. Dude, get this guy out of here, man. You know, I mean, I would say, first of all,
are we on agreement like Matt Nagy? And I'm somebody's son who I wanted Matt Nagy to stay. But after watching this game, this 21-9 game that should have been a 35-3 game, it's not working.
No, it's not.
Just not working.
It's
not working, dude. You tried it with your quarterback, didn't work. Nick Foles didn't work, and I'm surprised. I'm texting you all game. Get Foles in. Get Foles in. Get Foles in. Mitch Trubisky, it just didn't work with him.
No.
It's just not working, man.
No.
It's just not working. 3 points. No.
Unfortunately, I have a feeling that Matt Nagy is going to stick around. I think they're going to look at this and say, 3 years, 2 playoff appearances. We should see if he can get his own quarterback
in a pandemic season.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. You and I can both see this. This has been 2 years now. What about last year? People talk about Matt Nagy and, the fact that this was a pandemic year and that maybe messed things up. But what about 2019, Tim? What about that year? I mean, they were terrible that year.
They were worse, man.
They're terrible this year. Get rid of Matt Nagy. 100%.
I'm done with him. I'm done with him, dude.
I'm done with him too.
All right, Mitchell Trubisky. Is it over? Is it time to break up, son?
Yes, it is. Look, there's a reason why they didn't pick up his 5th-year option. There's a reason for that. They wanted to see whether or not he could prove himself. He definitely is not going to be worth whatever it's going to cost to franchise him. Hell no. Mitch Trubisky is gone. And guess what? Good riddance, Mitch, in Chicago. You were terrible for us. You can't read a defense to save your life. And now, look, thank you for your service. Best of luck to you, Mitch. I don't ever want to see you in a Bears uniform ever again.
I'm done. I'm in agreement, my brother. Mitch Trubisky, I don't even want you. After seeing the last 2 games, I don't even want you back on a 2-year contract. Just go and find an offense. Maybe that you'll actually have a coach who could actually play to your strength. Obviously, the Bears needed to get Mitch on the run today, and they didn't.
They didn't.
And you know what? Maybe he didn't have opportunities to get out of the pocket, but dude, that's how you beat the Saints. That's how a running quarterback beats the Saints. Jalen Hurts did that. We talked about this. Jalen Hurts went 106 on the ground. It could have been done. That's how they should have attacked the Saints in this game. He had 1 run at the end of the game in that final possession.
It was terrible.
Nothing was happening. It's just time for Mitch just go to a different team to get out of the limelight. In my opinion, go to a team where you could learn from a quarterback, or just go to a coach that actually wants to coach you.
Yeah.
All right. So my question now is, so I'm going to play a different game.
Okay.
You are Allen Robinson.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm bouncing, man. I'm bouncing for free agency. That's what I'm doing. Look, Allen Robinson is supposedly getting a lot of interest from the New York Giants. Look,
really?
I don't necessarily think that's
I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think that's a good situation for him. But if I'm Allen Robinson, why the hell would I stay here? I think the only way Allen Robinson, who's pretty much just wasted 3 years of his career here in Chicago, I mean, I would want to go someplace where I have a quarterback that can actually throw me the damn football. So it's clearly not any of these bozos that the Bears have dropping back. So he's gone. He's played his last game as a Bear. That hurts me because
he would have been the best wide receiver ever in Bears history.
one of the lone bright spots of the Bears offense this season was him. I mean, that guy worked his tail off. That guy put in good games when the Bears offense looked like crap. Mm-hmm. And yet here we are with him. I think he should probably look for greener pastures somewhere and find a quarterback that can actually throw him the football. I'm sure he's sick and tired of whoever they had at Jacksonville at that time and whoever we have here. Gosh, I don't know if Jones is any better in New York, but hey, I mean, it's not Mitch. That's for sure.
I mean, if I just off the top of my head, there's some places I'd love for him. I would never go to the Giants if I were him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure. I mean, there's definitely other places to go, but
I would never touch Daniel Jones. I would touch, if I'm him, some places I consider. Baltimore, maybe. Mm-hmm. That might be an interesting thought. I would go to, if San Francisco got a quarterback, I'd go there. Mm-hmm. That's a thought. Any teams come to your mind? Dolphins, the Dolphins. I'd sign with the Dolphins in a second if I'm him, especially if they get Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, anywhere but Chicago, because unfortunately he's wasting away here. And this great offense that we thought we were going to get, we all we got was the Mark Trestman special, Tim. I mean, how many of these guys do we have to go through? Gary Croton, John Shoup, Mark Trestman, now Matt Nagy, all of these offensive gurus that are supposed to help turn this Bears team into this offensive firepower. And yet we've never seen it. We've seen flashes of it the first year, and then that's pretty much it.